Welcome back to TV5 News at 9. It's time now for a special edition of Aging in Style with Vitale Wealth Management. Joining us now is President and owner Joe Vitale. Good morning.
Morning, Lauren. How are you?
Good. Happy to have you here. And real quick before we get started, don't forget to sign up for Joe's newsletter, Financial Vitals, for all the latest in market trends and financial news. You can just scan the QR code on your screen to get access. Now on to today's topic, how students can plan for the future.
Yes.
Joe, as a proud sponsor of TV5's Best and Brightest, you know how important future planning is, of course, when it comes to education. How can parents plan for retirement and save for their kids' college at the same time?
That's a juggling act, because that's the biggest thing. A lot of times if you start early on, it's going to help tremendously. The biggest thing you can give your kids, the best thing you can give them is a debt-free graduation, right?
Yes.
You don't want them to come out of college with $100,000 or $200,000 in debt. If you can save for retirement through your 401ks, get the match, maximize it as much as possible, and put some aside for the kids early on, that's going to help them. You know, it doesn't have to be a lot. I've been doing that for my grandkids, just $100 a month into account for them, and it's amazing how it grows. So there's ways to do it smartly without going crazy, but yeah.
So what would you say is the best way to start saving?
Start with $100 a month, really. Put it into an S&P index fund for the kids as soon as they're born. That's going to really, the value of compounding interest, the time value of money, it's going to grow like crazy, so to give them a good, and also have the kids, when it comes time to go for every scholarship possible, you know, really do the work, and you'll be surprised what you can find. But as you're working, the hardest thing is, I remember when my kids were little, I had so little money to put into anything.
Right.
But if you can get that match in your 401k, you don't even miss it, and the money's growing. Then before you know it, in 30, 40 years, you got $1 million or $2 million in there, so you're set for retirement.
I like that you mentioned scholarships. That's a good reminder.
Yeah.
My parents were always pushing me to apply for every scholarship I could. Now, what if parents didn't save? Is it too late? Will student loans hurt them in the long run?
You know, even if they didn't save, student loans can hurt. I've got, believe it or not, I've got people say we still owe on student loans for our kids, for our grandkids. I mean, it's just something we did, and I wish we didn't. So unfortunately, you want to make sure the degree is in something that they could actually use, and they just don't spend money and go for every loan willy-nilly. I had a couple of my daughters went to college later, and they're like, "Dad, you're going to help me, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going to help you." Now, granted, I did. You're right, I did, but I said, "You're going to go for every scholarship out there." And I said, there are none. I'm like, look, my daughter, she just graduated as a nurse from Franciscan University in Steubenville, Ohio. And it was wonderful. It was a hard program. But she got most of it paid for because she really dug into every scholarship, and she came out with no debt. So what a great way. And look, took a little jobs. It was a hard curriculum, so she didn't have a lot of time to work, but she still got little money along the way.
Hey, everything helps.
Every little bit helps, yeah.
For sure. And for the students listening, what would you like them to know about 401ks? Can you break down how this works and how it can help students save?
While you're younger and you don't have a lot of income, another great example, my daughter was working, but made maybe $7,000 or $10,000 for the year for the summer, right? And they were putting it into the 403B with a match. I'm like, no, put it into the Roth. Because the income wasn't that high. She was in under a 10% tax bracket. So why are you going to save money on 10%? We moved it to a Roth. Now all that money grows tax-free. So for the next 40 years, it's going to grow like crazy, and she'll pay not a penny of tax on it. So she paid tax at 10%, which is nothing. So 401ks are a great idea, especially if you're coming out of college, you get a good job, but look at the income. If your income is if you're in a 12% tax bracket, if your income's under $50,000, put it into Roth. If you got a Roth option, go Roth, especially if they're going to match and give you free money. But otherwise, make sure you're doing the 401k, and if you have extra money, do both.
These are really good reminders. I'm going to hang on to a lot of this.
Yeah.
Anything else you want students or their parents to know right now?
Whatever, don't put it off. Procrastination is the worst, right? I can't tell you how many times I say, oh my gosh, I wish I would have done this. I wouldn't have missed it if I did this. Don't put it off. Get in right away and just keep consistent. The time value of money just multiplies like crazy the earlier you get started.
Yeah, getting started early is key, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, Joe, thank you so much once again for being here. Don't forget to get market updates and more through Joe's newsletter, Financial Vitals. And if you want more information on today's topic, head on over to the Aging in Style page on our website. WNEM.com.